Hi, it's David Oestreicher here in sunny Carmiel. It's June 7th, and we're coming up to Parsha Naso in Israel and Parsha Bamidbar outside of Israel. And then, following right on the heels of that, as soon as Shabbos goes out, in comes Shavuos. In Israel, it's for 1 day, and outside of Israel, it is for 2 days. Shavuot is a harvest holiday. It says so many times in the Torah. That is the wheat harvest. And really, the success of the wheat harvest in a climate like Israel's, which is an arid climate, a desert climate, is really dependent on miracles from God. And it determines whether or not there will be famine in the coming year. So it's of tremendous importance. On the other hand, it's a holiday that has no other major events to it. You know, there's a joke that's told that on Sukkot, you have to eat in a specific place, that is to say in your sukkah, and on Pesach, you can only eat specific foods, that is to say Pesach foods. But in Shavuot, you can eat where you want and what you want. It's a nice thought, but maybe the most important thing about Shavuot is that it is centered in the harvest in Israel and in the temple in Israel in ancient times. So then raises the question, what to do for 2,000 years of not having sovereignty in Israel, and still, of course, not having a temple in Israel. And one of the answers was a calculation that was made that the giving of the Torah may have fallen on the 5th of the month of Sivan, on the 6th of the month of Sivan, or on the 7th of the month of Sivan. And if it fell on the 6th of the month of Sivan, it would be consistent with the end of the counting of the Omer, the 49 days, the 50th day, which is Shavuot. And so melded into the harvest festival, the bringing in of the wheat, was an additional element to it, which was the joy of receiving Torah. That moment, that unique moment in history, when the infinite and the finite connected, crossed a bridge that has never been crossed before and probably will never be crossed again. And that is what's special about Shavuot, giving of the Ten Commandments, giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai. What does it mean? It's a fusion of forces of finite and infinite that happens there. Right? It is a moment when we received not just the Torah that tells me on Shabbos is a day of rest. It's not just a Torah that's personal, to be a good person, to follow the laws, to believe in God, right? But more than that, it's also a national Torah. It is, in fact, the founding document of the nation of Israel, so to speak, the Constitution. Now, that's very controversial today, and I don't mean it to be. I'm talking about as it was when it was given. So, we have not really appreciated its value in that sense, and really it's much easier to observe Torah as an individual. I don't have to make decisions for you, I have to make decisions for me. But when you observe Torah as a nation, it's fraught with liabilities and complexities. And yet, is it possible to be a light unto the nations without being a nation? Without having your own land, your own military, your own currency, your own national culture, your own hope, Hatikva? I don't think so. And so when the modern state of Israel was founded, we took on new sets of obligations we had never had before. And that was to be, in the words of the Torah, not just a kingdom of priests, but a holy nation, Goy Kadosh, a holy nation. Look, none of us have really ever 100% succeeded at keeping Torah personally. I think the greatest rabbis in the world will admit to that. And the nation is far from succeeded at keeping it nationally. But it's definitely on the right path. And it's definitely moving forward. And I think this year, when we observe the elements that combine, the fusion that exists of the glory of the harvest, and Israel has become a harvest in so many ways. A harvest in medical technology, in water technology, in agriculture, in every way imaginable. And it's a blessing of its people and a blessing of God. And you combine it with the road of being Goy Kadosh, a holy nation. This is something devoutly to be prayed for. So I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, a Hag Shavuos Sameach, a good time of learning, a good time of drawing even closer to Torah, your Torah and the national Torah. Shabbat Shalom, David Ostreicher, here in Carmiel.